What's up, guys? It's your boy GRC. This is Crypto in the Morning, and we have an absolutely dense one today. We got a dense one. And we got a couple things we're talking about today. First of all, we're getting pretty into the weeds in the DeFi. I like to support the products that are surrounding and built on Hex, of course. And turns out that a lot of them turn out to be really good because when you're basing a derivative off of a product that actually works, you can get a lot of interesting a lot of upside there. So, and even at a minimum, you can make a dog coin that's somehow built on Hex and they'll move together because people are so ignorant. Basically, ignorance runs the world at this point. Me and Sam, we hide from people intellectually and we stay to ourselves and we call certain people because there is so much bull crap, so much FUD, so much like people telling other people the truth, but that's not actually what they do, Sam. Come on, Sam. That's a classic. That's a layup. It's like me and Sam have just seen it for so long in the bodybuilding industry. It's like this dude has huge delts. This dude's 6'2". He's telling you to drink more protein powder, more eggs, but he's not telling you that he's jamming Trembolone in his ass every single night. He doesn't mention that part. Just like, so there's a lot of parts in crypto that I'm learning, and there's a lot of things. I don't want to say people keep to themselves, but this is business, baby. Like, don't get it fucking twisted. Nobody's your friend. I don't care. Yeah, Bullish and Sam are my friends, but when it comes to financial incentive, like when there's financial incentive for people, they will pick that 99% of the time over you if they're not going to hurt anyone, right? Like if they're not going to directly like ruin someone's life. I don't agree with it. I like stepping forward to provide value in more of like a punch hard way because that's more fun for me. But anyway, today, guys, we're getting into the weeds a little bit. We have ISCO. We have Hedron. ISCO, Hedron, 20-sided shape. Are we playing 20D chess here? I don't know. I'm under the impression that Alex from Hedron is playing chess and y'all are playing checkers. I'm sorry. I can't stop thinking that this dude has more insight than me on the market. And you know how I always say that, Sam? I'm like, I have a funny feeling that this dude might know something about maybe the bear market. Maybe he knew something about the bear market and he said, we have time, Sam. Like, so who knows? And me and Sam just open-minded to all this stuff. I love Hedron. I like what Hedron's doing. I like what Maxi's doing. I love the team token. I love the base token. I love all the incentives that are going to come off of this for this community. And this is exactly what we need in Pulse Chain. We need community. We need more people. We can't just regurgitate Motley's bags for the next 50 years. Okay? Like, it's not how it works. You need more heads. More heads equals better. You know what I mean? Like more heads equals better. And I was joke about Motley, but you know what I mean? Like, and they know that. They know about adoption better than anyone. Like, we need more people. And those guys punch real hard. So it's not on them, but within the normal, like general community, it's like everyone just wants to talk to their neighbor and just like shake hands and be like, this is good, but we need to reach out more. It only makes sense, right? Like it only makes sense. We got to reach out more. Guys, smash the like, smash the sub. I'm all jacked up today. I love all you guys so much. I have no hate in my heart for anyone at this moment in time. That could change very quickly on a dime. And I want you to share this tweet real quick, guys, that Bullish sent out. So Bullish posted a little tweet this morning on the show. I am going to post that before we go. I'd really like if you shared this out to all your Telegram groups and stuff. And if you hit the like, you hit the sub, and I am going to copy link. Give this a retweet real quick. I'm going to retweet. I want you to retweet this jaunt. We call it a jaunt in Baltimore. All right, guys, 1 minute and 9 seconds. Remember, everyone grab your coffee. Stay safe. Protect yourself. Long-term bear market. Could be sketchy. Could be fun. A little bit of both.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phones.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phones.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some Hex and I'm making a stake. Got me some Hedron, I'm making it rain. Pay me some Maxi and that's just in case. Jim ready sent me to show you the way.
DeFi Pro.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phones.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phones.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
What's up? How you doing, brother? Today is a wonderful, wonderful day. Here in Florida, we have the sun out shining. Got some sun this morning.
It's raining poo-poo here in Murderville.
Oh man, dude, I'm excited to learn about this new protocol, this ayahuasca protocol.
Awesome. I've done that protocol. Not the same protocol, Sam. Different protocol. Different protocol. It's like, are we going to Puerto Rico? Hey, dude, we should do that one day though. Like travel down there and do one of those like set up spiritual, like where you get a journal and like you do the whole fucking shebang for like $500. I know it's pricey, but it's like you could break some barriers down doing that kind of stuff. And we all have those barriers within, and we learn it every day because I get stuck on my bias every day, and I have to kind of like shake it off of me a little bit.
I've got a buddy from Peru where they do those ayahuasca tour type things over there, and he said that you can actually get legal. It's just legal to have coke there. You can have the coca plants, and you can get coca leaves just like regularly, like all over the place. And I was like, oh wow, that sounds like it might be a fun country to go visit just for the experience. You can get coke leaves and everything like that.
Bob, send me all your money, bro. I'm trying to fucking travel, bro.
Yeah,
come on, bro. Dude, you're always in the Telegram, but you're never sending me those dollar bills. Just kidding, guys. Hey, well, I'm in a good mood today because I love when there's legit shit to cover. I love when it's legit. Like I love when it's helpful, and I love when it helps me, helps you, helps them. So that's the situation we're in today. I have two things I'm going to show. We're going to first go through Crypto Coffee's video for like 5 or 6 minutes, get us some talking points. He's very clean with the way that he goes about things, and he chops his videos a little bit, so he cleans it up. And I want to look at that video because right when we get to that, because you put there's just some stuff that's going on. Again, I don't want to say this is super technical because don't throw yourself off. It's like truthfully not that technical, but we're going to try to break it down in a way that's like technical and non-technical. So like I'm going to say what I think, and then I'm going to say, Sam, help me out with this part. Like, okay, they're borrowing it back. What does that mean? What are the implications of that? Because remember, guys, the Hedron is never gone, or the value is never gone. It's just formed, change. So whether it's burnt, whether it's redistributed, but like, you got to follow the money a little bit. Like there's like 5 steps to this shit. So the money's everywhere, but it all makes sense if you just follow it slowly. And we're gonna have Crypto Coffee. He was in Chicago getting absolutely blasted last weekend. And
for that pitch that guy did, I forgot.
That was the worst pitch I've ever seen in my entire life. I saw that bit. Did you see that?
Bullish, can you pull up that clip if you can find it? Because
I was on stream with him.
Which clip?
He threw the ball.
That dude who did the thing for hacks at the Chicago game and threw the ball all over the place.
Dude, I asked him. I said, "Are you going to throw a heater?" And he's like, "I'm going to make it to the plate." Bro, you gotta practice fucking throwing the ball before you go on the fucking mound, bro. I played like sports like that, so that's like more up my alley. But that was almost the best possible outcome for that pitch like I ever could have imagined.
I saw it for half a second, but I didn't like go in and actually.
I love Big K, by the way. Big K is an absolutely amazing guy, like ridiculously awesome. So if you all know, I'm just playing around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Big K. There we go. Big K. I couldn't remember his name. Right? Yes, I did a stream with him a while back.
He's really cool.
I'm looking for. I don't know if he's the one who uploaded or who did.
He might not be on the front of the algo list.
No, it's definitely not. I don't think it was him who uploaded. So if anyone has the link, send it to us.
Go to Crypto Cabana. It's on Cabanas. It's on. I know. I don't even have to look. But so let's get into this while he looks that up. That'll be a nice little break if he finds it. So we're going to pull up Crypto Coffee here, and I'm going to play it just from the beginning so we can have a little more context. Again, guys, if you're not following Crypto Coffee, just don't follow him because I'll play his videos afterwards on my stream.
There's a subscribe button. Just press the subscribe button right here, and you'll get the recap.
And just know every day I'll stream all his videos. I'll just be this streamer. No, I'm just kidding. Crypto Coffee. He's been a staple in this community since day one. He is one of the reasons that this thing is as strong as it is, period. He's a cornball, whatever. People love him, people hate him. He loves Hex, and he learned this stuff before other people were willing to. And that's commendable. Like, I love when people do that. Like, learn when other people deferred. And I do that. I defer all the time. Everyone does on some things.
100%.
You just pick and choose. And then
that's
sometimes you fuck up, though.
And we haven't looked into
Ron,
this.
if you don't
That's why
know-
we're deferring to him because he's apparently done the research or some research on this.
Definitely has, and I've talked to him personally, and he understands crypto very well. Just like if there was a Cryptos for Dummies book, like he would be the best guy to write it. Like he just brings it bullish. It's in your Twitter inbox, Motley. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly.
And Motley, we got those DMs, and I sent them to him, and he was reading on them. So he is definitely.
And I also messaged you back too.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know. Yeah, real quick. Let's. I definitely want to catch a laugh before the Hedron. So let's. If there's any music.
Wait. Pause this for 1 second.
Context.
Okay. Yes. Give context. So this dude, Big K, right?
So Big K is a Hexican millionaire, alpha male, weed smoking, baseball pitcher now. But no, he's a crypto guy. He's a Hexican. I'm pretty sure he's day one. He's been around. He's been on every stream. He's been talking about this stuff. Nicest guy ever. Smart guy.
Used to mind. He's in the video. Yeah. He's in the movie with Richard Hart that's coming out in the fall, early next year. He's in the movie. He was part helping with pieces of it. So somebody who's been like part of the at least Hex community for quite a long time, and he used to mine Bitcoin before this.
He's a nerd. He knows what's up.
Yes, and so he won this or purchased this thing where he could throw out the first pitch.
Sure, yeah. I don't know how it all came to be, but it came to be. So they all went to the game. Lots of Hexicans came to the game too.
Yeah, I believe it was a NFT that he won, and the NFT pretty much gave him the pitch.
Thank you. Okay, cool.
That's good to know. Like more use cases, like as
you continue to play through. Go ahead and play this. Thank you, Bush, for pulling up.
Please, guys, just hold your applause for after the pitch. Just make sure you're watching the screen. If you're not watching the screen right now, I need you to get your phone out of your pocket and watch the screen. I'm going to give a moment of silence for Big Cat.
Yeah! Money! Go Hex! Hex.com!
Oh man, ball just goes all cocky. That's like Dr. Fauci's throw, where it's like going fucking out in left field.
He's tossing the ball up in his hand like he's going to throw a freaking home run pitch. Anyway, I mean a home run, blah 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 pitch, a fast pitch, blah blah blah. Okay, enough baseball. Baseball's not my favorite sport.
Yes. Cool. That's fun.
But yeah, fun. Big K. Shout out to Big K. Those guys always getting together. That shit keeps the community strong. People don't know that. You get a couple 20 millionaire dudes that love to hang out for the rest of their life and they love Hex. That's beneficial for Hex.
I don't know Big K. I did a stream with him one time, and he.
You do know Big K as much as you know me. You talk to his face on the internet. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know Big K like personally.
Yeah.
But I've done like a stream or two with him, and his demeanor he's very upbeat, and I always look for that. So, guys, let's actually get into the content today. That was a great segue, though. For real, that was fun.
Yes.
That's always fun to see the guys doing stuff. I support the Hex community 100% until it rug pulls, then I'm out. Then I'm changing my name once it rug pulls.
What Hedron is, you're going to want to start with understanding that. Long story short, it's basically tokenized Hex stakes that you can then sell as NFTs or borrow against in the form of Hedron token. So you can take out a loan against your stake and you can trade stakes. So that's what Hedron did. But Icosa is building on top of that. And I think the reason behind that is to add more speculative stickiness to make Hedron even more sticky and add another layer of game theory on top of it. Because if we look at the price of Hedron, I mean, Hedron had a huge pump in the early days, but then it's just pretty much been flatlining. And obviously that's because of the bear market. I do expect this to come back one day.
By flatlining, he means tanking.
But right now it's very simple. Nobody really wants to buy Hedron. And, part of this is probably because.
Right. But
I mean, again, I would kind of clap back on that to say like every chart on this time frame looks exactly like this, right?
You're 100% correct.
Ethereum chart probably looks like 20% less detrimental than this, and that's the blue chip. Well, Bitcoin. That's what I would buy before Bitcoin. But so it's like the Ethereum chart looks very similar. Again, guys.
But there's also
but another fun fact: the Hex chart from launch looks very similar, and that is the fastest appreciating asset in the first 3 years in history. So it's important to remember, guys, this can play a big trick with your brain, and guys like Randy Hilarski know it. Guys like, there's guys with a little more confidence in the system. They're not throwing their whole bags in here, but the name of the game will be it. He's so right.
RG3.
He's so right. It's the ecosystem that you can create that people don't even realize was created. Like,
and
people buying Hedron, ISCO, shit like this, they will be like, "What's Hex?"
To give an example, like if you remember back in 2007 when the iPhone came out, right? The iPhone comes out and it's selling for $499, and it's the thing, right? Remember those days where there was lines outside, people were camping to get these things. Okay, you can think of that in this context as Hex, right? Where now there is giant businesses that are built all around just the iPhone, whether that's the multi-million-dollar businesses in terms of YouTube channels that are out there, whether that is the multi-million-dollar businesses in terms of accessories related to that, or apps
when I'm
specifically
doing my
related to that.
TikTok video, I'm not thinking about Steve Jobs and like the initial project. I'm thinking about my TikTok videos on TikTok. It's not even extended that far for me anymore. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the average person. Like, they don't even know like what is really going on when you interact with an app and realize what that came from, right? And you're not even attached to the real technology anymore. You're attached to the third-party technology. No one even calls people anymore. Like,
You're right.
All third-party apps. It has to be that way because it's more efficient. It's just more efficient. It just is. Like, what am I going to call people all day for? What? When I don't need to. I can send 11 Telegram messages in 5 fucking seconds and get my point across better and wait for a response in a time where it's acceptable for the other person, rather than calling them, not getting an answer, and then playing with my dingle for the next 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Waiting for an answer. I call Sam in the morning. I know he's going to call back, but like for most people, you don't fucking call. Like,
Correct.
for what? Like, for what? Like, nobody knows my ass. Like, my mom. Yeah, I'll call her.
Yeah, I've got.
But anyway, so I just see all of this. I'm starting to see it more like in game theory land, like the dApps, the phone,
and they're going to be built around Hex,
decentralized wallet. I mean, decentralized currency that has an entire ecosystems around it that are derivative products that are on top of a layer 1 Ethereum. It's like, and it's like they all work really good. They're 1-for-1 value props. They're great. They're perfect. I think well, I don't want to say perfect. That would be stupid to say. But like, you know what I mean? I think I'm on fire about Maxi too. But let's get back into this. But it's good to talk about the macro, guys. Anyone who brings up macro, any chart, you tell them they're a fool. Right now, every macro chart is wrecked. Every single speculative asset is being sold for US dollar right now. Everyone, other than like Bitcoin, if people have faith in it. So, and 50% dumb coming soon.
Because the people that minted early had an outsized number of coins, and they were just kind of dumping consistently on top of the bear market, on top of the fact that, well, you just can't really do too much with Hedron. So we're adding staking to it with Icosa, which is pretty cool. And staking is one of those narratives that is kind of proven to get people to want to hold things for a while, but it's also much more than that. And I'm going to get into it because it's really complex. So stick with me and try to understand it on a deep level, because there's a lot here that we have to unpack. All right. So it's not out yet. It might launch in mid-July. And again, I just said might, so it's not going to guarantee to launch in mid-July. But Icosa is really just like the first part of the word Icosa Hedron. And it's like, Icosa and Hedron, like they complement each other. Fun fact, Icosa is also a 20-line poem. So do with that information what you will.
Thank you.
So it's really simple on the website here. Guys, again, it hasn't launched yet, but what they're going to do is HSI buybacks. So everybody that tokenized a stake, that now put their NFTs version of a stake up on some platform for sale, well, not a lot of people are buying these NFTs.
I'm going to just stop right there for everyone, and for people that don't know, some people totally clueless. What are we talking about right now? What did he just mention? Hex. If you know about Hex, there is a derivative product called Hedron, which you can mint from your hex stakes or buy on Uniswap. There's a front end called Hedron.pro. It's just a front end. It's a website. It's a dApp. It's just that's all you have to think about. You don't have to think about much. You go there, and instead of staking on the Hex protocol, on the Hex go.hex.com, you can stake on Hedron.pro. But within that, it becomes tradable. So don't think about all the verbiage. It becomes tradable, but it becomes tradable on NFT platforms. So just know that if you have to rewind that once or twice to get a hold of it, Hedron does take a minute, but a lot of us have also been thinking about Hedron a lot. So I'm going to move forward, and Sam, at any point, just tell me to stop.
NFTs right now. So it gives some additional functionality to actually buy back these NFTs. And the reason for that is because, if there's a 15-year hex stake and there's only been like 100 days that Hedron's ever existed, or maybe a little more than that. So if only 100 days out of 15 years has been completed in the HSI, which is the wrapped hex stake, people aren't going to be really wanting to pay that much more of a premium for it. And I don't think it's getting a lot of traction in terms of volume on the NFT marketplace, trading these hex stakes as NFTs, which remember is what Hedron allowed you to do. So what Icosa can do for your Hedron stake, if you have one, I personally don't, but if you do have a wrapped hex stake in an NFT form, an HSI is what they're called, a hex staking instance, you can actually sell that back to the Icosa contract, and the Icosa contract will buy this from you and give you Icosa coin, so ICSA. So it's a new ticker symbol, new coin, but they complement each other. So let's get into why and exactly how it does that. So if you want to cash in your HSI stake, you can just send it to the Icosa contract, and there will always be a buyer. The Icosa smart contract will always be able to buy your HSI stake from you. In return, it'll give you Icosa, which is an inflationary token that starts from 0 supply. Okay, so keep that in mind. There's no Icosa at first, and then there becomes Icosa when people cash these stakes in. And what happens after you cash that stake in, guys, what happens?
So this is interesting.
You want to just talk that out for a sec?
Well, I was also just looking at OpenSea. So if you do have an HSI stake, right? So you take your hex, you put it into Hedron.
Go ahead and pull that up if you'd like.
And there has been a bunch of sales. I'll pull it up. There actually is a bunch of sales with the.
And you understand the system, right? Like within the HSI and the sale at this point, right? Like pretty well.
I feel like I do.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
I feel like I can answer a lot of questions. Not that I'm.
Yeah, I think you could. I think you because we were talking about the ARB there for a minute. And okay, so a hex stake instance, that's what a HSI is, guys. So a hex stake instance, welcome to the world's first crypto bond backed by the world's first crypto certificate of deposit. 559 items, 156 owners, floor 0.4 Ethereum, total volume 725 Ethereum.
And you get to see. So here's all the transactions. I pulled up all the transactions where he was going through that. There's a transaction 2 days ago, right? This HSI stake was purchased, and then 2 days before that. So like there are people who are buying these things. Like nothing crazy, insane in terms of. Let's
look at the value prop of one of them for a sec in our heads.
Okay. Yes. And by the way, if Bullish, if you can pull up the video I did and share it on how to value one of these things, because you've got multiple pieces here, right? So you have the Hedron piece of it that you need to value. You have the hex value that you need to take into consideration to come up with a total value prop for one of these positions. Or does it make sense to just go stake whatever? Say if you're going to spend $1,000 for this, does it make sense to just take $1,000, convert it to hex and stake it? Or would it be better to just buy one of these things? So I have a whole video where I covered all the details on that.
Yeah, it's all situational, really. Like depending on, like some people could never give a shit if they ever see these for the next 15 years. And some people would like to trade them next month. So it's just completely it's a whole marketplace.
And it tells you how many.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's so interesting because he created a marketplace for tokenized stakes. And, it's not there yet because the market's wrecked. But if there's delta here, there has to be, right?
Yeah, there's opportunity. One of the ways that I see opportunity with these is when we have something like the other day, and that might be why some transactions actually happened. If hex price jumps up, because I looked at a couple HSI stakes NFTs that were extremely expensive relative to, like, it would make more sense to take your money and just stake it yourself than buying an NFT, because you think of the NFT holder the NFT holder wants to get the highest price for their stake for whatever reason. They want to liquidate it. So they're going to price it probably at a premium. So does it ever make sense to purchase at a premium? Not really for a lot of things, right? But when Hex has a spike in the price, if they set a price of here at a premium and then Hex goes up, now it's actually selling at a discount. So if you pay attention to when the price goes up of Hex, if they don't adjust their price in OpenSea, then you can pick up shit at a discount. Let's get back into this.
Great insight. We'll drop that video and let's get back to the show and we might have Crypto Sloth coming on here to give us a little segment too.
What happens with that stake is that it's immediately borrowed against, meaning it mints all of its available Hedron for its entire stake lifetime, and then it automatically defaults on its loan. Because remember, the other functionality of HSIs is that you can borrow against your stake in the form of Hedron tokens, but you do have to pay them back. So this contract will essentially buy your HSI back from you, mint all the available Hedron that it could possibly mint, and then automatically choose not to pay the Hedron stake back and therefore default on the loan. Now, why would it want to do this? Well, that's because it then sends those stakes back to the auction. So remember in Hedron, if somebody defaulted on their Hex stake in Hedron, it would be put up for auction. So you actually would be able to buy Hex stakes at lower rates than you would get today. You'd essentially be able to buy T-shares for a cheaper price than you could today, which is basically like taking a time machine back in time. And getting to buy an earlier stake is, in my opinion, a huge value prop when it comes to Hex, right? Because earlier stakes will always pay you better. Even if it's just marginally better, you're still getting a good deal. So what it's going to do is basically put up a bunch of HSI stakes that people are cashing in on the auction market, and then people can go bid and basically just go shopping for cheaper Hex stakes. So this could be a great way for somebody to kind of buy into Hex for the first time. They could, instead of just buying it on the open market, they could buy one of these wrapped Hex stakes that basically have a better T-share rate than they'd be able to get at this current day. Make sense? And we've seen that the auction part of Hedron is somewhat successful, right? People love the ability to be able to shop for discounted stakes, essentially. So that's one of the cool features of Hedron that works. And I think that's why they're choosing to apply that to Icosa as well. And now, so remember all that Hedron that was minted from that HSI stake that was then defaulted on? Well, that Hedron still exists and it has to go somewhere. So what happens with that big pile of Hedron after that HSI stake goes to the auction house, essentially, is that Hedron gets divvied up 50-50. Okay, half of it gets burned and the other half goes to Icosa stakers. So you can stake Icosa coin and get some of this Hedron that's coming in from all of these cashed in HSIs. Now, there's a lot of terminology being thrown around here, so try to follow with me right now. You might want to slow down and maybe watch this a couple times.
This is interesting. This also will be helpful for.
Can you talk on that for a sec? I use the bathroom.
Yeah, there's two ways to kind of like use Hedron, right? You can tokenize your Hex stake. So you can take your Hex, put it into the Hedron.pro, and you can make that into an NFT that you could sell on OpenSea, right? Or you can go through the same steps, but now you can borrow Hedron against that. So there's two ways to kind of get rid of a position here. Liquidation, as in the borrowing portion of it, if you borrow Hedron and don't repay it. And then on the other side, you have the liquidation by selling it as an NFT. Now, when you really look into the liquidation side and the borrower and the Hedron, from my opinion, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, really doesn't make a ton of sense to borrow Hedron because you're just increasing, you're having volatility risk on the payments, right? So you're borrowing something where you would think, like, if you have this house, right, and you borrow against this house and the house doubles in value, what happens to the debt on the house? The debt stays the same. If you borrow Hedron, right, then you need to pay Hedron back, and say Hedron has a double, but you used your Hedron to go buy fucking toenail clippings or whatever your thing is, then you go through and you have to pay back, borrow more Hedron, or purchase Hedron in the open market to pay back your loan, to like pay on your HSI stake that you borrowed against. Well, that shit is more expensive. So it doesn't really make any sense to borrow Hedron, in my opinion. It's just far too risky of a proposition. So when you factor in with what he's saying in that video, this could actually utilize that marketplace to get rid of these positions. So they're going to give you something that's just made up, right? This Icosa token, right? So they're going to just mint this thing they're just creating, right, to help this in terms of nobody's really going to borrow. The people who are currently borrowing are, talk to a couple of people are people who have are trying to promote the system. So they're going to take your HSI stake and borrow against it, their Hedron, and then purposely let it default just so people get to see what the system is actually like. So there doesn't, when you take a look at this, and this is going to actually allow people to pick up things. I think he's about to say that you can pick them up at a discount. That'll be determined in the future if that's actually going to take place. Because if there's an efficient market, then it's probably going to sell very close to par or very close to what it's actually valued at. So this will be interesting, and they don't have to pay for it. Remember, they're not actually paying for these tokens. They can get the liquidate. Where the Crypto Sloth is going to come on in a minute, and we can ask him exactly where the liquidation money goes, because that's how they can fund themselves, right? By going through and doing this. So it's very interesting, and it will allow people to, get this other token that they could utilize if they like to earn Hedron, if they want to stake, or if they want to get rid of an HSI stake, they could, by doing this other coin instead of putting it up and not selling. You are muted.
Let's bring the sloth in.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, good seeing you, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Glad to be back so soon. What was up?
Dude, glad to have you back so soon. I've been on I've tried to make sure everyone's safe, but I've been bullish on Hedron. I can't hold it back. You know what I mean? Because once you really get into the game theory with a lot of this stuff, it's pretty freaking rad. And seeing something like this, that is, so it looks, it's not out yet. So all things considered, but it looks clean. He can add on to it. He's willing to add on to it. He's willing to continue, and he believes in this stuff. And the more I look into Alex, the more I realize he might be playing chess and other people be playing a little bit of checkers. You know what I mean? Because it's complicated, but at the same time, it's really not. And I want to have you and Sam kind of have a dialogue for the most part, and we'll go back to the video at some point. But Sam, what questions do you have for Sloth about what kind of was just talked about with the Icosa?
Have you dove into the Icosa yet? I'm sure you.
Yeah. I was making my slides last night for my own personal stream, and I've been just letting it mull over, trying to just see if I can think of anything interesting, anything a couple layers deeper potentially. So I'm still letting it marinate a little bit, everything, and keep in mind not everything is set in stone quite yet. Yeah. So things can change.
The code is not out yet.
What is I'm going to give you the synopsis that I have in my head, and please enlighten me of the details that I might be missing. So I have an HSI stake.
Congratulations.
If I'm sorry, better would be if I had an HSI stake. If that would be a more accurate statement to say. Because I don't have one. So if I did have one, and I wanted to liquidate this stake, I could liquidate it now in 3 different ways. I could borrow Hedron against his stake and then just let it default and let it go up for liquidation, right, or auction. I could turn it into an NFT and then sell it on OpenSea. Or what I could do now is I can take this HSI stake and go through, assuming that this thing actually comes through. I could mint this other token, and then I could dump that token for my liquidation. Or if I was bullish on Hedron, I could stake that in there. Now, when I go through and I take this HSI stake, I am minting this other token. And when I do that, this protocol is going to take my HSI stake, do the borrowing, and use that as the exit on there. Now, when they do this, they're going to get a bunch of Hedron. Where does the liquidation money go when that is sold?
Yeah, it's distributed to Icosa stakers. So that's one of the 2 incentives for staking Icosa, both getting more Icosa, as well as all of the Hedron that the smart contract accumulates via the advances will be distributed to, 50%, I believe, will be burned, and then 50% will be distributed to the Icosa staking pool.
And what about the funds from the liquidation? Because you're talking about the loan, right? So I'm this protocol. You sell me your thing for me to mint you this token, right? So I have yours now, and then I automatically borrow against this, right? So that portion, 50% is burnt, and 50% goes to the stakers in this new token that's available. But now this other thing is going up for liquidation.
You're talking about the HSI stake?
Correct. And when that purchases the proceeds from that are all burnt, correct?
The proceeds of
this
the people who bought bid it on the stake and then won it. Yes, the Hedron that was used to bid on the HSI stake, the person who wins, all that Hedron stays burnt. It never gets minted. So then they get control of the HSI, and then that Hedron gets burned. And then, of course, that burn gets calculated into the APR for Icosa.
So you said it gets calculated into the APR for Icosa.
Yeah, for the Hedron staking pool, the amount of Icosa that is available to be distributed to the stakers is determined by a function that involves the amount of Hedron burned on a specific day. So like it'll go back and calculate. It'll go back and calculate like how much Hedron was burned in a given day, divide it by the T-share rate, and then that's how much Icosa is available to be distributed to the pool.
So if I were to go through that process, right, I find it interesting to do, and then they take the HSI stake and they borrow 50 trillion Hedron. Then
Jesus, that's a big stake.
right, so it's a big stake, right? So then they go over here and it defaults, and over here it sells for 25 trillion Hedron or whatever the number is, right?
Yeah.
It's not that much.
Now is the total amount of burnt half of what it sold for and half of so the total amount, if you added those two pieces together, would be 25 plus 50, correct? What it sold for plus what it was borrowed against.
So I'm not following you as much right here.
Real quick, Sam. Look, I have a feeling because I skimmed through this video once, and the end portion of this isn't as important as the beginning portion of this. So just as he goes, both of us, let's just listen to this, see what Crypto Coffee has to say, and then generate some more ideas about this because I want to let him finish his piece now that I got him all up on the screen. But and I do like Crypto Coffee's work.
Thanks for putting that in there.
And read the website too. Read the website. It takes about an hour or two for this to really sink in. At least it did for me. So it also unlocks 2 new staking capabilities. Basically, you can bring additional functionality to Hedron. Just one more reason to hold it. So minimizing sell pressure on Hedron, because staking obviously works for most coins. It gives an incentive to not sell your Hedron. And you can stake your Hedron in exchange for Icosa. The daily yield in Icosa terms is determined by the daily amount of Hedron burnt. Because remember that half of the Hedron from that cash in HSI is getting burnt. And based on the amount of Hedron burnt, that's going to determine, there's a calculation, which I'm assuming is in the smart contract, which I haven't seen yet. There's a calculation going on that will determine the amount of Icosa. And remember, it's inflating from 0, but it's only inflating as much as people are cashing in their HSIs. So you can stake Hedron for Icosa, and you can stake Icosa for both Hedron and more Icosa. I'll repeat that. You can stake Hedron for Icosa, but you can stake Icosa for both Hedron and Icosa. Okay? Just read the website. It's all right here. So just like in the Hedron stakes, your Icosa will come from the daily burnt Hedron as a calculation. And then the Hedron that you get comes from the borrowed HSI stakes and also emergency end stake penalties collected by the contract over time. So when you stake Hedron and Icosa, similar to in Hex, there actually are terms that you have to follow through on. And these terms, the minimum amount of days that you have to stake these coins is determined based on your class. Are you a dolphin, whale, shark, squid, whatever? And whales actually have to stake longer. So whales are forced to stake longer. Their minimum stake term is longer, which is good because they're the ones that can hurt the price more. So if you're a bigger holder and you want to get involved in staking of either Hedron or Icosa, the contract is going to force you to hold for a longer time. Otherwise, you'll experience emergency end stake penalties, just like in Hex. So I think that was a really good aspect of Hex that's also being incorporated into Hedron and Icosa because it's a proven staking model that definitely works well. And one more thing I should mention, guys, Hedron stakes and Icosa stakes, it's only 1 per account, 1 per address, you can only basically make one Hedron stake and one Icosa stake. And then you can add to that stake, or you can take away from that stake, but one stake per account, one stake per public address, I should say. And then at the end of the video, we're going to talk about We Are All the SA. So stick around to the end because this is a really cool thing. But I want to finish talking about the staking, right? So the contract has been written. Again, I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's going to be audited. This was written by Alex, who's the creator of Hedron. So, the Hedron contract is very solid, very well audited. And this guy's a trusted developer in the space. He's been around for a while, and he's doing this all for Hex, right? He's doing this all for the ecosystem to basically make it better for everybody. To add game theory,
He's giving everyone a fuckload of free money.
But so the contract's been written, the interface has not yet been created, and the Icosa code front end, whatever, has not formally been deployed yet. So you're still early, right? Again, mid-July is what we're thinking. So look at all these alleged benefits from Icosa, right? Let me know what you guys think about these. But this is what they're claiming is essentially the point of Hedron and Icosa together. So with the ability to now stake both Hedron and Icosa, you actually decrease Hex sell pressure, which makes sense because it actually incentivizes more Hex to be staked and taken off the market because now you can do more with your Hex. You have more functionality. With a staked Hex HSI, you can now not only trade the HSI or take out a loan against your HSI and Hedron, but you could also stake, Hedron and Icosa. So it just adds to the incentive for people to want to stake Hex. And in return, it decreases sell pressure because that's literally what staking does. Decrease Hedron sell pressure, right? Because now you can stake Hedron. Scarce token supply because, Icosa is minted very scarcely. It also burns Hedron, right? So you have increased Hedron burning incentive, which takes supply off the market. And we've seen in things like Pulse X, the buy and burn function tends to be very popular, at least in terms of a narrative meme, right? But also, in effect, the actual mechanic is very good for the price. It's literally so easy to understand. You're burning tokens forever. You're taking supply away. So even without demand, these tokens theoretically might get more valuable. And they also say something called reduced liquidity scavenging. Now, I'm not quite sure what this means, but this might have something to do with people gaming the system between the Hex-Hedron pair of liquidity by just giving them an alternate thing to do with their Hedron rather than just dump it for Hex or vice versa. Now they can stake it. So we'll scroll down to the staking design. So again, one stake per wallet. Each wallet can only hold one stake of each type. That's one Hedron stake and one Icosa stake. You can add capital to your stake at any time. However, this will reset the minimum days, the minimum stake length of days. And the minimum stake length in days is enforced by the protocol to focus on the fact that larger stakers are forced to stake for longer amounts of time, but they also receive more yield for doing so. Right? And smaller stakers don't have to stake as long, although they can if they want to. And there's no maximum stake length, which is pretty cool because the max length in Hex is 5,555 days. Here, there's apparently no maximum. And whatever they've done with the contract makes it so that it does not cost any more gas to end shorter versus longer stakes. So I think that's a pretty awesome innovation. I kind of wish Hex had that, but it doesn't. Okay, so then the HSI buybacks, right? A guaranteed buyer for your HSI at all times. If you want to get rid of your HSI, you can just send it into Icosa, right? It'll pay you in some IS time. And there's bonuses too. So if you have some of these wrapped stakes from the early days, you can get a 1 to 10% bonus depending on how early you were in that Hedron minting phase and claiming phase. And also, if you have a max length stake, you can also get a 10% bonus when you cash in your HSI that way. And again, this is all a repeat, but stakes are borrowed against. So they take out all the Hedron that stake could have ever made. And then they sell that stake on the auction market. And all that borrowed Hedron is then given to the ICSA staking pool. Well, half is burned, and then half is distributed to the Icosa staking pool, right? And then there's this really cool thing down here. This is called the We Are All the Source Address, or SA.
Pause this for. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want a small correction to what Coffee was saying right there. All of the Hedron that's borrowed from the HSIs that are liquidated, all of that gets distributed to the Icosa stakers. The only time Hedron is split between 50% burn and 50% yield distribution is through the emergency end stake penalties in the Icosa pool.
Oh,
Just
interesting.
Just a small correction.
So the HSI goes in, all the Hedron gets borrowed against this HSI. At that moment in time, that total quantity is not split 50-50. That goes straight to the staking people for this new token.
Yeah.
When
and I might have misspoke on that too, so my bad. But keep going.
Well, I think we're going to get a lot of there probably will be a few clarifications over the next few weeks as we go, and Alex publishes more information within the Telegram. We kind of learn these things as we go. They come more clear over time. But again, this isn't even finished. So even anyone could say at this point, like there could be added, subtracted things. Yeah. I can only imagine that there's guys that talk about this all day long and they try to figure if they're doing anything wrong, right? Like
What do you guys think that, like, as this guy, as Crypto Coffee, right, is going through this, and Alex, right, is already a trusted name in the space. Do you think that there could be a premium portal to actually stake your hex, like where when people get apps right through Android, I can get them off of the Play Store, but the best place to go get apps is through the Play Store. If you have iPhone, it's through whatever their platform is for purchasing apps or getting apps. What if this is the premium place to stake your hex, right? Because Alex can just keep coming out with more fucking plays on top of plays on top of plays, so that all of the hex is effectively staked through, or a large portion of it is staked through.
And he only becomes directly more wealthy because of it. So it's going to be more incentive to him to do whatever's right, because he's already a known hex staker, and I can't imagine he ended all his hex stakes. That would be silly. He knows that. So every proportional additional value to Hedron and hex is just beneficial to him. And that's an odd place for, only hexicans, man. Like only hexicans get so rich that they can do things with better incentive structure than others, because they don't need 4% off the top to supply whatever. This dude's writing the code on YouTube live. It's great. The hex community is great because there's like real wealth in this community, which is beneficial.
A lot of smart people.
Yeah, actually, that would be a good thing to have on the Icosa website, where like you can just directly just type in how much hex you want to stake, and then it just does all the staking, tokenization, and sending it all in kind of one go. That'd be good. So instead of like
someone write this kid a contract, someone get him to sign between the dotted lines already, Alex. Come on,
that'd be pretty good.
That sounds very user friendly and awesome.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you got that Synergy guy saying soon.
Synergy. What does he mean soon? Oh, you mean it's coming out soon?
Soon it might be coming out. Soon. Yeah. When is the Alex interview? We are still working on that. Soon. Yes. Okay.
Alex, if you're watching this, stop ignoring me. I know you probably ignore everyone, but don't ignore me too.
So if his defense, we've been going back and forth, and then he disappeared. It makes sense now why he disappeared. So I don't.
Yeah, because he's been working like that. But Alex, you're on the top of my list. Okay, you're up there with Kool-Aid and a couple other guys that I'm trying to get on the show. Super Hex win.
And actually, bring up that comment from RG3. Hex is going to disappear. I think that's a really good thing to keep in mind as we're discussing these like extra layers of complexity and abstraction within the system. That because this is a smart contract protocol that's built on top of Hex's fixed monetary policy, what happens is essentially just more Hex gets locked up for a long time. Because if you look at the way in which the Icosa minting through the HSI sacrifice mechanism is calculated, it's the advanceable Hedron divided by the share rate. But to get more advanceable Hedron, you have to stake for longer, right? Because you have more potential mintable days. So it just makes the most sense to just, if you're looking to get Icosa just through sacrificing a Hex stake, just max it out 5,555. So that's more Hex supply, just poof, gone for 15 years.
I saw that.
While it might trade on the secondary market, when it comes to the Hex liquidity for the ERC20 token, it just dries it up even more. And in the contract, you get, I think, a 10% bonus for sacrificing Quattro Cinco stakes too. So that's even extra incentive to punt out Hex for 15 years.
Because if somebody was like, hey, I think that the brand new token is kind of cool, they could make that play if they were like speculate.
And I know, Sam, on the interview we had on my channel, you were you're not as convinced about like how powerful Hex is as at least relative to other people in the community. And I think this is a really great example of the power of Hex, because we know that we're going to get more Hex over time, and we know the mechanism by which that yield is distributed, and it's completely trustless. We can build financial products on top of it that work because the foundation is so strong.
No, I was like, this is because you're gonna see this. I don't know if you were listening. Like with Apple, right, with their phone, or with the same thing's going to happen with Tesla, and is already happening with Tesla, where you have the mainstay thing here in the center, and there's peripheral things built around this that actually help with the main thing, right, with the iPhone, right? Then there's multiple app businesses that are built off of that. There's hardware businesses that are built off of that. There are other things, whether it's repair related to that, or YouTube channels or podcasts that are all related to iPhone, and blogs and all this stuff that are massive, this massive ecosystem around that. And when you're seeing this Icosa, you also see the same type of thing happening around hacks, where you see the peripherals being built out around different,
and it makes it
ways to provide
stickier.
value.
Yeah, it just makes it harder to take down. It's like there's more layer to it. It's just like, to get to the core of hex, it takes way more kinetic energy when there's 100 webs attached to it. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing. And I think this is like legacy finance 101, right? Like, it's just like, that's how you do it. This is the same thing. It's just crypto now. It's the same thing. It's just apps on your phone now. It's the same thing. You just don't, you know what I mean? You're just interacting with a more, a better technology. It's it. It's just technology is changing, and we're watching it live every single day. And it's hard to put yourself in the position who's watching a financial system get taken over, but it's happening, and we're covering it first. You know, we're the first guys in the Telegram groups. You are going to be the guys in 5 years that are like, dude, there's no one in that Telegram group, and I joined it. Now it's crazy. Now I can't. My parents won't stop talking about it. Like, now all the investors are getting into it, and now we, you know, and then we'll have banks everywhere by then. And I'm telling you, like, it can happen. It's money transfer is real. People die. People move on. Systems change.
People
and
lose money. Yeah.
And you know, people just switch up. Like, all those senators and shit, they'll switch up. Don't you think they won't switch up? They'll be all crypto supporters if that's the narrative. They don't give a shit. They don't. They want to go in office and pay people to do whatever they want. So, I mean, it's just all a big game, and we're starting to have the technology to undercut the shit technology and the manipulation, which still manipulation, but it's just not theirs anymore. It's not the government's anymore. It's not the United States government's manipulation anymore. RH is playing puppet games with these motherfuckers now. And
synergy, as we build things, Liquid Hex is going to keep getting sucked into different pockets of the ecosystem and locked away. Yes, but there's also going to be,
that's Alex, by the way.
Hey, what's up, Alex? There's going to be perpetual selling people.
Alex,
there's going to be people who sell as well. So that you have to consider the vacuum and the supply, right? So yes, supply is going to be pulled away from people entering the ecosystem and going into these little pockets, right? I think is the word that he used there. But at the same time, you have stakes that are coming due that is going to be a perpetual supply throughout, you know, eternity, right? So you're going to have people perpetually selling some of these. Now, which one is greater, right, is what we're going to decide as time plays on, as time goes on. This video is interesting though, and that was a good point. You
Sloth, do you want to stick around as we introduce the team and base token?
Oh yeah, sure. I got about another 15 minutes, so
perfect. It's not a long article.
Oh, we'll wrap up at the time you're leaving, probably.
Pretty easy to digest.
Actually, I've been meaning to do a little bit more of a dive into it, because this stuff has been taking most of my attention.
The information. This is a 7-minute read, June 22nd, and I'm going to pull it up right here. Okay.
There we go.
Let me give it a little Control Plus situation, because we know what we're doing around here.
We did I did a video on before this came out on team or base token the other day. Very interesting.
So guys, we were talking about Maximus, and we're talking about Maximus base. So Maximus team, Maximus base. We talked about Maximus base last time, but we're going to reiterate it as we go through the whole thing. Introducing team and base. In January 2022, we introduced Maximus DAO in a new way to stake Hex. In April, we launched our first liquid staking pool, Maximus. And in its 14-day launch, Maximus pulled 294 million Hex from 5,330 users. Wow. Super cool. When the mint phase ended And when I participated in that, we were all over that shit. I was all over that shit, like white on rice, baby. When the mint phase ended and the Maximus 15-year stake began, Maxi commanded and held premium over Hex, currently at 78%, basically stuck at 75%, roughly 68 to 78. Even launching into a bear market, the Maximus gladiators have flexed their diamond hands, held strong, validating their strength and their belief in the long-term value of Maxi. Truthfully, most people that have Maxi probably have never looked at it once in their life in their MetaMask. So it's just like, it's not a lot of trade volume, truthfully. The success of Maxi has surprised the world at every milestone and victory, in every victory. A surprise Hex tangent as well. With the help of our incredible community, Maximus DAO has turned into the start of a powerful movement with unlimited potential. To strengthen the Maximus economy and reward our community, we've introduced 2 new innovative and exciting smart contracts, Maximus Team and Maximus Base. So we're going to go over Maximus Team right here. Team is this is new information to me, guys. So Team is a income sharing token for Maximus DAO members, designed to incentivize the promotion, growth, and success of the Maximus staking pools. So this is built for that $294 million 555 Hex staking pool has more success, or the premium, I guess. The first stake pool paired with Team is Base, a perpetual revolving 1-year Hex staking pool. Do you guys understand that for the most part?
Yeah, but why don't we give context? So
for context, Sam, just just go ahead.
So you can basically use this base token at the minting phase, which we'll probably get into, and switch Hex for base, and you get Hedron as well as the Hex stake. At the end of this stake, you can leave your money in there, or you can pull it out, and it allows you to have a perpetual 1-year stake, which has several benefits there, because the people who benefit from short-term stakes are people who have larger bags in that ecosystem, right? So this kind of like pools together the aggregate of smaller people to give those people the benefit, right? Because if you're going to stake for a shorter period of time, it doesn't make sense for somebody with $1,000 for that, right? Like, it doesn't make sense for $10,000.
It's more effort than value.
Correct. Versus now you get a bigger pays better, right? So that could be maxed out at 10%. And then you just get the 20% bonus from the 1-year stake, and you can just leave it in there.
You get your minted Hedron on all of it.
And all of that on there.
What if Hedron is mooning in 3 years? What is the frigging price of all these things going to be? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's the perpetual revolving 1-year staking pool. To incentivize the growth of base, half of the Hex yield earned as a result of the bigger pays better bonus. So that's what Sam was just mentioning. So if whatever the bigger pays bonus is, half of that plus the Hedron produced from the base stake is shared with qualifying team stakers who staked their team for the entire 1-year base stake term. So when you do the 1-year base stake term, you are a result of bigger produced qualifying team.
It sounds like some of the base benefits are going to Team. Are you guys seeing the same thing?
After your year, you earn Team after the year. It sounds like Team exists after the first year, right?
No, it looks like you have to stake Team for the entire year to get those rewards. So it says qualifying team stakers who stake their team, which is implying the team token already exists.
I think they're going to do a mint with Maxi, trading Maxi for.
It'll probably get into that too.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I remember Depcatcher talking about the burning Maxi for something new. It'd probably end up being Team.
Oh, I see. So it'll be. Oh, I see.
Crypto Sloth, you want to read this next section?
Sure. Why does Team get this? This type of incentive-based bonus sharing creates a scenario where team stakers have a huge incentive to grow the size of the base stake. If the base stake is small, team stakers will earn very little. The larger the base stake, the more lucrative team staking becomes. Since Base is intended to be the primary liquidity pair for all future Maximus stake pools, incentivizing Base growth will help bolster a strong liquidity foundation amongst the various Maximus stake pools that we plan to launch. The Hedron is shared with Team simply to reduce the complexity and attack surface of the Base contract. The original structure, which included Hedron redemption for Base, created a scenario where the stake ended. There would be a race to mint, redeem, until all the Hedron was drained from the contract. To alleviate this, we simply include Hedron in the Team bonus sharing. Since the Hedron produced by a 1-year stake is relatively small, if Base users want that Hedron, they should simply buy it or stake Team to earn it.
So
do you guys want to summarize that?
Yeah, it sounds like the please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it sounds like the base, some of the benefits with the base from the bigger pays better is going to get siphoned off and go to Team. And because of if you add in a portion of smart contract that says these Hedron tokens that are being earned need to be sold and converted to Hex so that we can do this perpetual stake again, because that increases complexity in the smart contract, which thus increases risk, right? Or more attack surface. They're like, hey, let's just take this out of this contract, which is taking away from the base, the value for the base portion of it. And we're going to give that to the Team token. So that's what it sounds like from my take of this first reading of this.
Right. For everyone that's getting scam messages from my Instagram, I mean, at this point, if you're getting scammed from Instagram, people talking about Bitcoin mining, like, you got to be able to read between the lines a little bit. I'm not trying to talk to you about Bitcoin mining. I'm not trying to get your Cash App. I'm not trying to get your PayPal. I'm not trying to get any of your shit. It's not me. It's a random bot. If you look at the mutual friends, there will be 0. So just look at the mutual friends, guys. I cannot answer these messages anymore. I have 500 messages about fake accounts, and I can't, like, I get fake accounts too. I just ignore them. You have to learn, because if you're going to get robbed from a fake account, you're going to get robbed from a fake account, So it's going to happen once. I hope to God that I can somehow make this go away. But my blistering abs are very sexy, and people love to copy them on the internet.
I'm sure this happens with CryptoSloth, or will happen with CryptoSloth too.
Everyone that has any followers that sells anything.
If I ever actually post some content, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, you bet. Well, you're busy as a bee over there. So we can go down here. Team launch. 100% of the team supply is generated during. Okay, this is kind of where I was trying to get at. 100% of the team supply is generated during a one-time mint period available exclusively to maxi holders, where you may choose to mint one team per one maxi. So you got a 1.7 premium on maxi. You're going to take that rate and you're going to send that delta over to the team token for another 1-for-1 bonus, making double bonus time contributed to the team contract. When the mint period ends, the mystery box, gets a copy of all.
Do you guys pause for a second? I was having a conversation with a buddy in the gym the other day, trying to explain crypto and what's going on in crypto. And he's into video games. And the more I thought about this analogy, crypto is kind of like a video game, right? Like, if you appreciate video games, I don't play video games, but if that's your thing and you like video games and you see this,
a lot of the crypto users are RuneScape players, Diablo players, all those kind of players. Like, I was
a RuneScape kid, man. That's what I played.
Too. I was a full-time RuneScaper as well for many years, and I still get dopamine flashbacks from literally
flashbacks.
Literally, I'll get I remember selling my dragon chain to a kid at school, and I was so happy about it. It was back when dragon chains were still lit.
Go ahead. I just wanted
what happened. Okay,
there's different levels to this, and
it's true though. So when this would make any person confused that didn't know crypto pretty intimately, when the mint period ends, the mystery box gets a copy of all the team that is minted. So now, from this point on, no new team will ever be minted. Jesus, we're getting scarce.
So the mystery box is just a doubling of the supply.
What happens to the maxi? in the mystery box. 20% of the maxi used to mint team is burnt, increasing the redemption value of all maxi and reducing the total maxi supply. 30% of the maxi is held in trustless escrow and redistributed to team stakers over the course of 9 years, increasing team's value while reducing the short-term maxi circulating supply. One-sixth is released to team stakers after 3 years, 1/3 after 6 years, 1/2 after 9 years. 3, 6, 9 people. Fibonacci, baby.
They have a vesting period. So if you are working at a company and you get stock options or stock, a lot of times they'll have a vesting period. So it's interesting.
So half the maxi goes to all of these functions and half the maxi goes to the mystery box. I'm really excited about the mystery box. The mystery box. The mystery box is exactly that, a mystery. Much like the Hex OA, there should be no expectations from the mystery box. Oh, I'll never buy it. They're scaring me. Diff catcher's going to hell.
Well, if just for context for everyone, we've been advocating about people getting compensated for their work. So let's just say whatever happens in the mystery box stays in the mystery box.
Yeah, keep it in the mystery box. They deserve whatever's it. No, what we don't know. They're gonna do some cool ass stuff with it.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Unless it's chlamydia, then you might bring that home. But like everything else stays in Vegas.
The team holders, staking team, team holders have the opportunity to earn half of the base stakes, bigger pays better bonus, and Hedron, and that was up at the top there, by staking their team during the annual commitment period and remaining stake for the entire duration of the 1-year base stake term. I'm going to read that one more time. Better bonus in Hedron by staking their team during the annual commitment period and remaining staked for the entire duration 1-year base stake. So basically, if you do everything the way you're supposed to, you will be eligible. When you stake, your team is burnt. And when you unstake, your team is reminted, like Hex. You can unstake in any increment and at any time. But if you unstake early before the term ends, there's a 1% penalty of your team, and you do not earn any rewards for that term. That better be going straight to Dip Catcher's wallet. Example, during the commitment period, 1,000 team is staked. During that stake term, the team price pumps, and team stakers decide to end stake 100 team. The unstake function only mints them back 99 team. There's that 1%. When the base stake ends, the Hex and Hedron are delivered to the team contract, which is divvied up amongst the 900 team that remain during the whole term.
There's a total of 1,000 team that was staked, say split between 10 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put up 100, I put up 100, Crypto Sloth puts up 100. I decide, but like, hey, I need this for whatever reason. I'm going to end this stake, right? So the rewards that I would have collected in terms of the bigger pays better bonus and for Hedron, those I don't get. And I get 1% less of the team token, right? So I lose one of the tokens. I get 99 of the team token back. That bonus, I don't know about the 1%, but the bigger pays better bonus piece of it, what is that in Hex? Is that accurate?
Yes.
Bigger pays better bonus Hex, and then the Hedron, that will be distributed between you and Crypto Sloth and the 6 or 7 other players.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sticking with this, Sloth? What do you think about this so far? It's definitely a lot of moving parts. It's probably simple to do, but written out.
I like it a lot. What I see them doing is they're setting a foundation themselves. So they built Maximus DAO, which was like, I don't know, it's a mix of proof of concept as well as getting their name out there with a successful product. And now they're building more products around the same concept. And you'll notice that they're saying things like base is going to be the main liquidity pair for everything else in the Maximus DAO system that's going to be built in the future. And I can kind of see the way in which they're moving a little bit, where this is kind of all the base layer for their ambitions going on in the future. And I can already kind of see the dots connecting a little bit on where they could potentially take the system as a whole. And as they continue to add complexity, it's just that value is going to trickle down to the bottom layers as it goes on through both minting, burning, and reward distributions. So this really excites me. I need to take a closer look because I read like the first half on my own, and then I didn't get to the next half. But I like what I see so far. And Maximus Dow, Dipcatcher, Gold Key, I'm definitely keeping a close eye on them as time continues on.
This is also going to be interesting. The more derivative plays there are based off of Hex further away from the source is going to create opportunities during market turmoil where the price deviates from like the intrinsic value. Like basically this is where it's supposed to be. Market turmoil happens, crazy shit's going on. The price is supposed to be here, and now it's trading at a discount because it's the more you move away from the source, right? If you're talking about Hex as being the source, then you build something on top of that, then you build something on top of this, right? So you're 2 layers away, and then you build something that's over here that's off of this, that plays off of this, which plays off of this. You can have like derivations or like large movements away from like the intrinsic value, which could be big opportunities.
It's just like Ethereum. It's like there's a lot of people within Hex and Pulse Chain that don't really interact with Ethereum all that much, but they don't even know what they're interacting with. And like the people that know Hex know that they're interacting with, but like down the line, people learn less and less about the nuance, and the rates get worse and worse. And then, you know what I mean? Like it because the nuance becomes less important because the rates aren't like blow your face off anymore. And that just takes time, you know? But yeah, no, I'm so excited. Like this is like this community is stepping up so heavy. It's ridiculous for us, you know, like for us guys on the ground that are just doing our thing. And that's why we all love to do our part, I'm sure, because it's like, it's nice to support a community that might be doing something that's positive in this world in some way, in a world that every incentive is negative and only based on one person's usually hidden agenda. I would say almost always hidden agenda. So to even be talking about a financial protocol with any transparency, it's almost mind blowing. It's like we don't even know what we're looking at. We're like, these guys want money, and then you have to like work through that for like 5 months, and you're like, maybe they don't need money. Maybe, you know, like it's like a whole nuanced thing, and that's why I just wanted to do the show every single day. But I'm gonna finish reading this so we can.
Actually, I do have to leave in a second. Do you mind if I just
good,
leave
man.
with one final thought?
You want to say bye now?
Hit me.
Yeah, I'll leave you with this last thought before I head out. But one of the main heuristics that people use to kind of judge whether or not some project is going to make it in terms of crypto through a bear market is if they're building or not during these down times when kind of the market has left and there's not as much money. And thinking about kind of where the Hex ecosystem is, not only do we have Richard Hart building an entire layer 1, and not only do we have people already building to build on top of that layer 1, but we have community members building on top of the project, the product that already exists that we all interact with. And so I can't think of a better scenario or a better bet to put some of my money into for a bear market if we're thinking about longevity of an ecosystem over time.
Great point. Great point. Where can people get a hold of you?
I just posted his Twitter down there, and we posted his Twitter, guys.
Yep, that's my Twitter, Sloth Crypto 3. Find me on YouTube at Crypto Sloth. I'll be on either tonight or tomorrow afternoon going over my Icosa slides, going over kind of everything, my thoughts and the basics of the system. GRC, Sam, thanks for having me on again. I had a great time as always. I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, love it having you on, Sloth. Your insight's always incredible.
Great seeing you again, brother. I look forward to the next time. Peace out, bro. Let's get back into this. I like Crypto Sloth. He's awesome.
He's just a hardworking guy. I love it. All right, so all Hex, Hedron, Maxi, USDC, ETH, and PLS, and potentially other tokens selected that enter the team smart contract during a stake term. And other tokens, Sam. You know, they could add other tokens in depending on maybe other people's interest. Perhaps I don't.
Yeah, no. Clearly, they're mentioning it. Clearly, they have something on their mind, whether they're articulating in this paper or not.
So this whole team mystery box thing is going to be dope. Like I know these guys. Like they're going to want to blow your socks off your feet. So there's nothing better for your reputation than blowing people's socks off with giving them free money. Nothing.
Correct.
Nothing.
Correct.
Zero. There's no ROI better. No ROI better. If I'm like, Sam, dude, today I want you to click 11 buttons and you'll get 11 grand. He would be like, you're a fucking great guy. You know that?
I completely agree.
He'd be
with
like, you know that gym rat dude? Like, he's
a good dude. He's a good guy.
You're like, I bought 1 million hex. You're like, this.
No, that's a great point.
Anyway,
the more people you can pay, the more people you can get to make money, that you tend to kind of like, buy or influence.
And how do you ruin your career? The exact opposite. You suck value from your viewers. Constant value suck. Constant value suck. Overpriced, under-leveraged, undervalued, lack of it's what turns into like customer service in America. You start with a product that works, and that's what a lot of these crypto dudes do, and they end up being sold out shills that need more money to feel better. And that's not how you create greatness. It's not. You don't. It's just not. You have to think bigger. You have to be doing the things that other people aren't willing to do. Lots of people are willing to accept emails for $1,200 to support shit. I promise you. And it's not worth it. All Hex, Hedron, Maxi, USDC, ETH, PLS, and potentially other selected tokens that enter the Team Smart contract during a stake term and distributed amongst all team that was staked for the entire duration of the term. Man, I had this whole play I was going to do for Pulse Chain, and now I'm just going to like give Dip Catcher off.
Well, remember too,
Maxi is my number one pre-launch play. I've told people that over and over. That's alpha. If you don't understand it, learn it. Learn what I'm saying right here. The best pre-fork play, if you don't have just redonkulous funds, is having a tradable 15-year stake that is copied over for the same premium on that side from different points, but same premium. You're going to get an immediate premium on the PHEX. It's just like, okay. Like, and I could trade it. Oh, and the Hedron. Oh, if that blows up, it's still being minted on top of that. So you're telling me I can get 150 million hex bonus, 10% bigger pays better bonus, and all of these things when I could never even have gotten 1% to that point with the bags that I have. It is truly incredible what they're doing for the users, the little guys, and at the same time benefiting the whole system. It's truthfully very cool.
This is dope as fuck. Yeah. I'm curious to get more information on these other tokens and how that might be, impacting.
It could get crazy, dude. It could get next bull market, dude. We could just be like, oh no, like what is going on? Like too many people are buying into this. What if like all these tokens are done? Like, dude,
100%, dude. We're gonna get there.
This could be really crazy, guys, and we're literally going to cover this every day until we literally hate it. And that's going to be a long ass time. They're going to have to be something that comes out really darn cool, like some hoverboards or shit. Let me be like, dude, these hoverboards are finally cooler. The team commitment period runs simultaneously with the base, mint, and redemption phase, which we read above, to encourage active participation in the promotion of future base pool cycles. Staking team does not roll over, and you must stake or restake team at the beginning of every cycle during the team commitment period to earn for that stake term. This also endures that lost team token do not dilute rewards for other team members. Really well written. I gotta say, I love how detailed, short, and sweet some of these paragraphs are. And that me and Sam talk about that all the time. It sucks when you read something that sucks.
Because that's gonna happen with the base contract, right?
And it's gonna happen with there's good contracts. Sam reads them all the time, and he's put off by the poorly writtenness of it. But he can see through that because he's done it so often. But he knows that sometimes there's nerds that aren't ready to write white papers, but they have all the clinical data in their head, but they don't know how to write. They don't know how to communicate. And Sam me and Sam were talking about him being almost like I'm sure this is a profession of sorts, but it's so new, like an auditor or like a editor, I would say, whatever, like a pre-edit or like someone, a consultant.
Because you can help these people.
Because you could help like a lot of these guys probably like
so
scam people way better.
Yeah. Right.
You could be like, oh guys, don't write that stupid shit. Like, don't put the 4% in and out tax at the first line, please. Like,
Yeah, put that at the last line, guys.
it's very small print. Claiming team rewards. The Team Smart contract keeps an address-based record of completed team stake cycles. When a base term ends, team stakers can claim their portion of the rewarded Hex and Hedron. It is important to note, unlike Maxi and base redemptions, you do not burn your team, you simply claim. Team stakers can claim their Hex rewards from completed terms at any time. Claiming team rewards is address-based. So even if you sold your team after completing term, you will still be able to claim your rewards. Yay. Base, real quick. This is the last little section, and then that'll be it for the show today. And guys, if you want the updates on all of this stuff every single day, smash the like button. I'm going to support this crap so hard. So, if my channel gets bigger, this shit will get bigger because I like this. And it benefits me because of my bags, and it benefits the smaller guy, which is kind of what I'm always at. I'm always kind of like try to cut through the dudes with a lot more money because sometimes there's a little FUD because they don't like to be, not all of them, but rich people aren't super honest because they got rich, not doing stuff that other people don't do. And so it's like coming on. Me and Sam are a little bit unique how we come on here. We don't really care. We just want to be journalistic because it's more fun. Base is the first perpetual 1-year Hex stake pool, opening the gate for similar stakers to enjoy the short stake passive income strategy currently only available to whales. Sam, he just bammed it right there. He just bammed that sentence, dude. If that was Gold Key or Dick Catcher, good sentence, bro. Like, seriously, that is what's going on here. So remember, there are people that right now very much like the fact that they can short stake their way to liquid gains for the rest of their life. Yes, they will have a diluted bag over time. That doesn't matter when you have a $5 billion. It's going to hold the system down. You don't want that sell pressure. You don't want it. You're going to get it. Again, what is all this doing, Sam? Spreading the love, webbing it. But I mean, I know there still will be this is just a way to benefit people that are not Hex whales.
Correct.
And me and Sam say that over and over again because it's like, oh yeah, we love this coin. We love this coin. It's like, yeah, you have like $600 million. Like, no shit.
No shit.
But I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I would be the same way. If
Correct. 100%.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
But why do people like to watch this show sometimes? Because we're not going to come at it like that. Because that's just not the experience with us yet. Me and Sam have been in crypto for a very limited time. So it's just like, that's why we're doing this show. I think it's unique in that way. And that's why I wanted to present it in this way, how it works.
Yeah. So you want to read some of the benefits real quick? Some of the benefits of the base token.
Yeah, you read. Oh yeah, there we go.
Benefits: bigger pays better bonus, gas savings. That's going to be big for the small people because the gas savings to end your stake. Instant liquidity, right? Because you can always sell your base token. Yearly redeemable yield, low risk, high certainty yield, and yield on yield. I'm not sure what they mean by the yield on yield there, but they'll probably get into it when they talk about how it actually works. Base will launch with scroll down a little bit. Base will launch with a 7-day minting phase where anyone can mint one base per Hex pledged to the base smart contract. After mint phase, all the Hex used to mint is staked for 1 year. When the stake ends, Hex is returned to the base smart contract and the redemption and new mint phase begin. Base holders can either redeem their portion of Hex from the base treasury by burning their base or stay in the pool by not redeeming, rolling over. During this time, anyone can mint new base.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. During this time, anyone can mint new base at the new mint rate, determined by the yield from the stake. The mint rate is equal to the base treasury Hex balance divided by the base supply at the moment the base stake ends. When mint phase ends, all Hex in the base treasury is staked and the cycle continues. So this is interesting. We're going to see we should see a slight premium to the base token at launch because it's getting the bigger pays better bonus on there. And it's providing liquidity to hex staking 1 year, which is there's a premium to staking on hex, right? And so if you're like, hey, how do I get and we're not saying you should do this, but you're like, how do I get like a return very quickly that is almost guaranteed? We saw this with Mint. We were talking about this with Maxi. I mean, when this happened, it should never sell at a 1-for-1 again. People who think that Maxi should sell at a 1-for-1 are silly. But the same thing's going to happen with base, right? It's going to sell at 1-for-1 at the beginning. Hopefully some people dump, and it's going to sell at a discount. And that's your opportunity to get a instant return, because as the intelligent people take action with their money, the base is always going to sell at a premium to hex. Just because
it's Sam, think about onboarding real quick. Say you have a friend that's next to you and he has 3 Ethereum in a MetaMask, but he doesn't know much about crypto. Okay. So you're going to pitch him this whole hex staking thing that's going to make him hate you. And he's going to think you're a scammer. And he's just going to be like, dude, how many hours do I have to research this before I trust this? You trusted me. So when we had that conversation, it was different, but people don't know each other. I know like 5 people. So it's like, hey, swap one of those Ethereum for this. That's a great play, in my opinion. Sit on that and learn, because you're actually gaining more benefit. Whoa, hold up. You're actually gaining more benefit because there's a negative externality when you're locking your money into a smart contract on a device that breaks after 8 years, on a computer that could get stolen at any time. Or, guys, I could go down the list for an hour. You're talking about a smart contract for 15 years. There's negative externalities there, 1,000% every single time. I know people, I know humans. They're not They're not robots. They're just not. Sam's as close as you'll get.
And they're gonna fuck shit up, and they're gonna lose their keys. Their shit's gonna break. They're gonna forget about it. Their house is gonna burn down. There's gonna have floods. There's going to
girl's gonna come in and just start throwing shit and steal whatever. Like you hook up with one girl you don't know, she steals something. Your Trezor gets hacked. I know guys that can hack Trezor.
And this is going to lose, and they're going to lose this, so that base value in the treasury is going to continue to go up over time as more and more people do that. So somebody could just get all the benefits of hex 1 year stakes without locking other shit up. Makes sense, right? Yes, a dope necklace, right? You get all the benefits of that by base, where there's not going to be necessarily a ton of liquidity with this, but you can get all the benefits of this. So this is going to be benefiting the small guys, assuming that big people don't actually go in there and take up all the liquidity on this.
I would say definitely 1-for-1's not guaranteed for Maxi. Of course, not guaranteed, because macro nightmare, absolute asset sell-off nightmare could potentially happen to everything. But the thing with Maxi that's weird is that it's like there's more hex. Like there's so much more hex that it'll just bounce within. But let's semantics aside, I minted all my Maxi for the most part 1-for-1. I got a little premium there, although I did sell a lot of it for USDC when the markets were.
But you could buy it back at a cheaper price now.
Yeah, I could buy. Oh my god, yeah. No, my god, I think I 1-for-1 did. It was like I probably sold at like 11 cents for my Maxi, so that's like at a 1.76 premium, probably like 7 cent hex, and I could buy back right now for 7 cents. So, but I'm not going to do it yet because there's going to be more nightmare to come. You heard it here first. I'm not willing to say the truth, in my opinion, because it's my opinion, and I am not the judge. But I think we're going to take a step down.
I agree.
Not a nuke, a step down. But when you're 95% a step down, it's kind of a nuke.
I love you want to read this last section here?
Bitcoin in 2008 dropped 94%. Everybody remember. Okay, Base is introducing a foundational element to the Maximus DAO economy that will support the growth of Maxi and all future Maximus staking pools. Although APY is not as high as Maxi, if utilized correctly in your financial strategy, you can better capture future opportunities, enhance yield, and manage risk. Base is better alternative to holding liquid hex while waiting for optimal times to buy more Maxi. Holding liquid hex, you're diluted by hex inflation 3.69% per year. Holding Base, you're earning a hex inflation, Sam. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. The truth is weird for some people. If
there's not going to be whales that come on and they're stake ends and they sell 2% of what they've got and they restake it out that are going to be dumping in your fucking heads in Matt base.
I can see worldviews changing right now. Worldviews molding, changing, because I know I know mine would have to, if I had a bigger bag, I would have to backtrack to get on board with this, where right now I don't, because this was made for me. Legit, like guys in my position ish, where it's like $3,000 liquid, 10 grand liquid, 20 grand, under 100 grand liquid probably would be like best utilized. And I have an opportunity to make some plays within my life and maybe provide more value within my life so I can provide more value to others, which inherently, considering that I support all these products like a freaking razor, like a freaking shark, it's all beneficial because the people in this community are so good. Let me keep going. Base is a better alternative to holding liquid hex while waiting for optimal times to buy more maxi. Holding liquid hex, you're diluted by hex inflation at 3.69% per year. Holding base, you earn hex inflation. If there is a dip in that maxi premium, you will be able to buy more maxi because you will have earning yield holding base. Like maxi base offers yield on yield opportunities, while your base is gaining value from trustless yield, you can utilize it for other yield farming opportunities like liquidity provision in the maxi base pool, Sam. Base maybe. Ooh, that could be a cool research situation.
That's what they meant for. So if you go say on PulseX, what's going to be a Uniswap to start with, right? But there's going to probably apparently be a trading pair between maxi and base. So you liquidity provide, and what do you know about liquidity providing? You have to hold two things that you're okay with holding. That's pretty simple. Like people are getting scared in permanent loss. Just hold two shits that you're okay with holding. It's Ethereum, USDC, then do that shit or whatever. But you can earn a yield on top of this, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually use your yield only to purchase back at a negative premium or at a less premium rate. Therefore, you can just earn free money forever. Blah, 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 blah. I love that. I love that free money forever kind of tick. It just works. It's
crazy. What's going to
really
happen?
Good marketing.
This next bull market's going to be fucking stupid. Dude, even if it's 24 months away.
I might be streaming from a freaking box here shortly. Guys, if you want to, no, I'm just kidding, by the way. I have a house and it's fine. But if you want to support me, keeping this going, maximum attention to this, at some point I will need to get a job, and that's totally okay. Like, I don't think for one second I'm doing this because I'm an absolute savage and I want to do whatever I want. And I think this is going to be really awesome for me. And I think it's all going to work out because I'm truthfully putting as much effort. And I know in my life, when I've put this congruent effort into other things, I've never had an issue. It maybe a year, maybe a month, maybe 2 years, but somehow, some way, when I'm adding max value, that it comes back. It just comes, it finds its way back to you, whether that's people on the feet. I've been talking, all sorts of stuff, been meeting new people. So guys, I have an address down there. There's an address below for me and Sam. And, obviously the super chat shit, I don't like it. I don't like that YouTube Nazi stuff. I'm not going to lie. I hope that doesn't get somehow like caught in the algo. YouTube Nazi probably is written there somewhere. But, so guys, I don't like.
And the reason why is YouTube takes like 50% of whatever is donated through super chat. So if somebody's like, hey, I want to donate to something, like there's an Ethereum address. It's maybe not as easy.
Sam, once we get better at this and we update our computers and stuff through IBS or whatever, fucking I'm so stupid.
OBS, yep.
OBS. You can actually have a third-party credit card thing that you post at the bottom, but then it actually comes up on the stream. So you can have a third party where it doesn't interact with YouTube, but with OBS, you can make it come back onto the screen. Me and Sam aren't like,
oh, cool.
So you can do it in a way where you can get that fee away. And to be honest, if you're going to send me $100, like, what's up? YouTube's fine.
That's also part of the super chat system. So the same shit you're shitting on is the integration that you're talking about with
whatever,
OBS.
I'm a gym rat, but
there's a lot of ways. Point is, there's a lot of ways. And
send me all your money or you're going to hell.
Let's go back and finish reading this thing up.
Sorry, guys, I've been on a tangent today. I'm in a really good mood, but really, all I want you guys to do is like and share. That's my favorite. Seriously, when I see new people, it makes me happy. Like Maxi. Base offers yield-on-yield opportunities. While your base is gaining value from trustless yield, you can utilize it for other yield farming opportunities like liquidity provision in the Maxi Base pool. Base may be better coin to provide Maxi liquidity with than Hex because it also grows as Maxi grows, but at a lower rate. With Base becoming the new liquidity foundation for Maxi, future Maximus stake pools, there's a huge opportunity for Base holders to become liquidity providers and earn fees, kind of leveraging the system back with the people that were there first. But the people that were there first are all hexagons. So it is a good, that's not a technical term like hexagon. That's not a technical term. You wouldn't write that in a white paper, but they don't sell a lot because they're rich. You just say that. Onward, we're working hard with the goal to launch before Pulse Chain to double teams and Base bags. Guys, my head might explode.
Bro, I apologize. This is the last tangent.
Please.
When we were talking to the Power City folks the other day, and they were like, "We are waiting until Pulse Chain launches to launch this," and I was like, "Why? Why would you wait to launch something and double everybody's bags? Like, launch now, and that way everybody gets a double if Pulse Chain actually launches." Like,
and that's the problem with the projects
mind.
that are too technical, Sam. They're too technical. You can't launch them.
Did you catch that when they were talking about that? I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, it's just and this is no shit on the actual project because it don't exist yet. So basically, what we're saying here is like, there's a lot going on with Power City. And to me, I'm not saying this shit won't work out, go to the moon. I don't know Jack S. But to me, it's a lot going on. And like something like this is easier and potentially more effective and
safer.
Simpler, safer,
Yeah.
less.
They also said they're literally reusing 98% of the code.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that means from we're talking about
from Maxi
team and Maxi. That's why it's easier for them to like do it.
Well,
like
for sure. For sure.
But
Maxi code is simple.
But it's good code. It's good code. You want
to be simple. Was talking to me about it. She said
you want it to be simple.
They're essentially, launching new products with 98% audited code,
which is dope.
Yeah,
which is dope for us because that's what all I care about is me. To prepare for team and base, and bullish. Only people I care about is bullish, me, and Sam, and my mom,
and Bob the guy,
and Bob, and Bob. Okay, everyone, I love you so much. I'm just playing. I'm in a goofy ass mood today. Onward, we're working hard with the goal to launch before Pulse Chain to double everyone's bags. That's what they're saying. They're working hard, baby. They're not saying we're not doing it now. Sam, that was a good insight. Again, there's a lot of nuance there. We are in the late stages of the design and development phase, after which we will execute extensive testing on Pulse Chain testnet, and then that'll be fun. And then we won't get to do that. Never mind. And then completely secure audits in preparation for launch. We will keep you informed on progress via Twitter and Telegram, and we'll announce an official date when our security audits are complete. This is for everyone who's still listening and still here. This is how you prepare for these situations right here. To prepare for team and base, stack your Hex and Maxi. Begin to develop your own strategy for acquiring and holding Maxi, base, and team. We can't provide you with financial advice, but we will be willing to provide you with the best tools, resources, information to make the best decision for you and your financial goals. Guys, if you only understood how small these groups were, if you only understood how early we were, if you only understood the opportunity that was sitting in your hand, we're going to have a long lull in the market, whether that's 5 months or a year and a half. We're going to have a long lull. You have time to focus, make more money. He just told you all you need to do is acquire more Hex and Maxi. Right now, it's down 95%. And I'm just saying this for your children's sake so you can stop being a dumb butt. And so when you're older and you're like, man, I wish I did this, that, and the other, and don't wish. Stop wishing for shit to happen. It doesn't happen to the people that wish. It happens to the people that prepare.
Take action.
Take action, prepare, read, focus, stay away from negative media. All negative media, you must stay away. When you're in person, you must be in an avoidant manner, most avoidant from conflict. You want to be safe. You got to focus on all this stuff. These are the people that make differences in the world. You have to focus on everything down to the derivatives of the products that you like that are coming out pre-launch weeks before, covering it every single day, guys. That's as good as it gets for value, in my opinion. I'm not telling you to put your money on fucking Celsius, okay? And then a year later, just being like, yeah, I never would have done that. Really, it was just at the time it was popping. It's like, nope. People lock their money in there, buddy. And it's annoying. But guys, absolutely. A little bit of a clunky show, but a fucking incredible
This
show.
is a good show. We covered a bunch of good stuff. I'll probably actually do 2 separate videos now that this is out on Base and Team, and the Icosa, the ayahuasca, the token related to Hedron will be
Icosa.
Icosa Hedron is the shape. Icosa Hedron.
Icosa Hedron. Thank you for that.
That's a 20-sided shape.
It is. Icosa Hedron is a 20-sided.
That's one word for a 20-sided shape and one word for a 20-line poem.
And one word that describes it, or there is a 20-word poem.
I think a 20-word poem is called.
Gotcha. Thank you. Because I wasn't sure when he said that at the beginning of the video. So interesting, awesome show. Lots and lots of information here. Lots of little carrot tops that you can start to pull and go down these rabbit holes to get more information for yourself. We're going to wrap things up here. If you want to support, you can check out some links down below. Jump over to Twitter. Say what's Gucci.
We're going to be super active, guys, on everything. Triggered brand, guys. Sam Stolt. This is Sam's brand. It's popping off right now. He's doing better than he ever has in a time where the bear market's down. That's super bullish for Triggered. And you guys know what he provides. He provides stuff that can actually make right now, Sam, I have a horrible back. I pulled my back on one side so fucking bad. I can hardly lay down.
And only because I know he's not going to say it, his store accepts crypto. So if you want to shop in crypto, you can spend some crypto with his store.
We're all getting better together.
Yes.
We're all getting better together. I want to support everyone who's doing honest work, providing value, and trying to move forward. Not everyone makes mistakes. Everyone says stupid shit. If Maxi goes to zero, pull up all those videos, post them all over Twitter. I'll have to admit it at the time because I would have been wrong, and that's okay. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'll go down with that ship, and I'll tell people if I don't believe in that ship anymore. And I will be 100% transparent because that's just where I'm at right now. And when I get fat bags, I'm going to lie to all you motherfuckers. So remember that. When I have $100 million, don't trust GRC anymore. He'll be like, yo, buy my fucking GRC coin. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm just playing. I'm all over the place. Sam, what a great episode. You might see me pop on here later. Sam's going to have videos posting all day long, guys. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Sam on Twitter, IG, everything. Watch out for scammers, guys. Crypto in the morning, every single day. Get your hex ready for Maxi Team. Blah, 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 blah.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Heart. Richard Heart.
Bought my hex from the fucking start. Point one every day we mark. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he is mooning. Looking at why they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pro chains out, now get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart.